The sun is shining in Lexington for Game 2 between Kentucky and fourth-ranked Texas, and the Wildcats are celebrating 4 program standouts today on Senior Day, while the Longhorns look to stay in the hunt for the SEC's double bye. As we welcome you to John Kropp Stadium with the former Fordham captain Maria Travelpiece. I'm Noah Frary, and the regular season winding down for both of these teams. And Maria, every game matters at this time of the year in the SEC.
Every game matters, every pitch matters. These games determine where you will be in the postseason, so both of these teams so locked in for today's matchup.
Well, Texas got off on the right foot yesterday with a Game 1 win over Kentucky. Things got started early. Katie Stewart hit this one to the wall to get Texas on the board early in that game. But then it was Peyton Plotz who got Kentucky right back into it, her first home run in 31 games. But then Texas in the 6th broke the dam down. They scored 6 on the way to a 12-2 victory over Kentucky in game number 1, their 17th run rule win of the year, as they take down the Wildcats 12-2. And that takes us to Game 2 of the series, where Texas is fighting for postseason seeding. Kentucky needs every win they can get.
Well, Kentucky needs to be 500 to have a shot at making the NCAA tournament. As you said, Texas is working for the double bye in the SEC tournament. So many implications here today, Noah. It's going to be a good one between Kentucky and Texas.
Second game coming up. And Sarah Hendiges on Senior Day gets the start for the Wildcats, making her 10th start in SEC play today.
Well, she's going to work with that 63 to 65 mile an hour speed, Noah, but I had a chance to catch up with her leading up to today, and she said she was so excited for this weekend. It's senior weekend. We're going to get into that, and she is so excited to close out her career here as a Kentucky Wildcat.
Hendiges, coming off of a strong start against Alabama a weekend ago, will face this Texas Longhorns lineup. Viviana Martinez slides up into the 3-hole today after a 4-for-5 performance. Kaden Henry will lead things off. This is a Longhorns lineup with plenty of names that college softball fans are very familiar with. Set for game number 2 between the Longhorns and the Wildcats. Kentucky trying to snap a lengthy losing streak and pick up a critical win as they try to stay above 500 here at the end of the year. A streak of 16 straight years in the postseason in jeopardy. First pitch bunted by Henry. A strong throw to first, but Allie Blum can't come up with it. It's a base hit for Kaden Henry to start things off.
Well, Emma Emmerich does everything that she can to try to get Kaden Henry on first base, but what makes Henry so good is her speed. She's able to slap it, she can lay it down, and she's great in that leadoff spot for reasons like that.
That'll bring up Katie Stewart in the midst of a massive year for this Texas program. The best year of her career comes in one shy of setting the program's single-season home runs record, held by Reese Atwood 23 a year ago. Stewart has 22. Henry is going, and Emmert guns her down.
Sarah Hendiges puts this ball right in the perfect spot for Ella Emmerich. Throws out the speedy Henry. That's a huge out for Kentucky.
Emmerich's 5th caught stolen base of the year comes on Senior Day for the Lexington native. Kaden Henry had been a perfect 23 for 23 on the season.
You almost wonder if Sarah Hendiges and Ella Emmerich worked on that, though. You see it was almost like a pitch out, so it was a perfect position for Emmerich to get her body and fire a strike to second. So some good teamwork there from the Wildcats early on.
3-1 misses low to Katie Stewart. The first two have reached to begin this top of the first inning. Maria, you've played on a Senior Day in your career. What are the emotions like for these 4 today?
Listen, I graduated a while ago, Noah, and I was tearing up here in the booth watching these seniors walk out onto the field. There are a lot of emotions in this game. You know, you start playing at 5, 6 years old, sometimes even younger, and then one random day in May, if it's the postseason, your career just ends, and so you really want to appreciate it and take it in on days like today.
That one's hit to short. Clark gloves it across the diamond for out number 2 as Stewart advances to second. Clark Softball America's Defender of the Week this week after making a couple of sparkling plays down in Tuscaloosa for Kentucky last weekend. We've seen Texas swinging early against Sarah Hendiges. What's that tell you, Maria?
I think that the way that Texas approaches their at-bats is they're looking for a pitch that they can drive, and if it's not in their heat zone, they're going to take it. So I think you want to see them being aggressive, because if it's something they can drive, they're going to attack it early.
Reese Atwood having a conversation with her head coach Mike White, 8th year at the helm for him and for Sarah Hendiges. What can we expect from her today in the circle?
Well, as we talked about, that 63 to 65 mile an hour speed, the vertical movement is what does it for me, though. She utilizes a rise ball, but her best, in my opinion, is the way she uses the drop. That changeup works well, especially against a team like Texas, to keep them off balance.
One from Hendiges followed off to Reese Atwood, one of the best catchers in college softball. 171 RBIs in her career, 11th most in D1 history. She is the active leader and has an RBI situation here in the first inning.
It's interesting, though, because Hendiges has gotten her to foul off down the first baseline twice on inside pitches. She went with the curve there on the outside. I'm interested to see if she comes back in here.
Hangs a pitch, it's hit into left field. It gets under the glove of Riddell and rolls to the warning track. A big turn for Atwood. She'll be at second. It's an RBI. An error allows her to get to second as Texas strikes in the first inning.
Well, what makes Reese Atwood so good is that she can hit really any pitch. Here's what looks like a drop curve on the outside part of the plate. Hangs a little. Atwood gets enough of her barrel on it to be able to square it up and get her teammate Katie Stewart to score.
A hit and an E7 on the left fielder, Alexa Riddell, just her second error of the year. Over in left field today has been Kentucky's primary center fielder. Here's Leanne Good, 0 for 2 last night. Exited that game early. You wondered, was there an injury? She appears to be okay.
And that's what you want to see, especially if you're Texas. You want a healthy Leanne Good, not only for this game and this series, but the rest of the regular season and come postseason.
A strike there for Hendiges to get ahead in the count. And a Texas program that, coming off of their first national championship in program history a year ago, going to make another deep run this year. 1-2, Hendiges misses off the plate. Maria, hitter in these situations, what are you looking for?
You have to protect here, right, with 2 strikes, but anything close to get to the pitch you want. So there, that's a good take by Leanne Good. It's on the inside corner. Now you work it to 3-2. You still have to swing at anything close here to foul it off to hopefully get to yet another pitch and hope that Hendiges makes a mistake against you.
Good will be playing professional softball this summer in the AUSL. 3-2 on the corner. Hendiges gets her looking to retire the side in the first. Reese Atwood delivers the RBI single. Texas leading early. John Crop Stadium, Kentucky, playing from behind as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Peyton Plotz moving up into the 3 spot in the lineup. Hit a big home run yesterday for Kentucky, their only runs, but for her, a chance to breathe a little bit. It's been 31 games since she last hit a home run. Got that out of the way last evening. That Kentucky lineup will be facing Texas starter Citlali Gutierrez, coming off of a loss in the midweek to Oklahoma State in a game that Mike White said the final box score did not tell the full story.
Well, she's been pitching so well as of late. Again, that box score not reflective of how she threw that day. What makes Citlali Gutierrez so good, Noah, is her change of speed. She can sit between 59 and 67. Do you know how hard that is as a hitter to determine what you're going to swing at? When it's coming in 67, then all of a sudden it drops off to about 59. I think if you're Kentucky, when you step into the batter's box today, you need to know, am I going to sit the fast or the slower pitches in my at-bat?
I have never faced a softball pitcher, so I'm going to take your word for it.
It's pretty hard. I'm going to let you know. You got to figure out fast or slow. What am I going to swing at here?
First pitch from the senior out of Stanford, Texas, is a strike to Carly Sleeman.
Gutierrez will also attack lower in the zone. An outstanding off-speed curve, too, that you'll watch out for.
Tegan Cavan got the start in game number 1 last night. Worked into that 5th inning. Wells came on to finish the job as Texas won in 6 to take the opening game of the series. Sleeman fouls that one off of Reese Atwood. I don't know about you, Maria, but if there's one position on the softball field I have no interest in ever playing, it would be the catcher position.
Noah, I played in my career at one point every single position except catcher for that reason. Pitching's also incredibly difficult, but man, the catchers do not get enough credit. They're taking foul balls, they're getting pitches framed, they're throwing runners out, and then how about blocking in the dirt as well? We're gonna sing the praises of the catchers here, especially in this game with somebody like Reese Atwood behind the plate.
The one thing you didn't do is play all those in one game like we saw Texas's Mia Scott do last year.
Did not do that.
Ball and 2 strikes to Sleeman. Low again, a good eye from the Kentucky leadoff hitter. Hitting .310 in the leadoff spot since she moved up into the top spot 23 games ago. Kentucky was desperately searching for some consistency at that spot. Sleeman has provided it down the stretch of the year. 2-2, hit to left. Altemeyer gave it a look, but out of play.
Well, I love Sleeman in that leadoff spot because she takes good hacks like that, but she also knows what her heat zones are, right? So she's swinging at those pitches that she knows she can drive, but she takes the pitches that are borderline until she gets 2 strikes. So she gets on base a lot. She can set the tone for an offense.
Sleeman punishes one, deep left field, and this game is tied. Carly Sleeman gets things started for Kentucky. 14th home run of the year. We've got a tie ball game.
Well, I told you Carly Sleeman can set the tone for this offense, and she does it right here. This pitch hangs up and away. She goes with it, gets her hands nice and high to tie this game up for the Wildcats.
Now batting for the Cats, your second baseman, number 19, Allie.
Molly Gutierrez gave up a home run late in that game to Oklahoma State in the midweek. Gives up one here to the first batter she faces on the weekend, and that'll bring up Allie Blum. Swinging at the first pitch off the end of the bat. Easy for Martinez behind the bag at second, and that'll bring up Peyton Plotz, who got the monkey off her back yesterday. It's been 31 games since her last home run. She delivered off of one of the best pitchers in the country last night, Maria.
Well, Rachel Lawson told us that Peyton Plotz is letting the game come to her again. That's exactly what she did on that home run last night.
Plotz has scuffled for much of the year. A season ago, she was Kentucky's best hitter, one of the best hitters in the SEC. She's been pitched differently this year and has struggled to adjust. Playing some good softball down the stretch of the year.
Well, in this era of college softball, there is so much film on you as both a pitcher and a hitter, so you constantly need to be improving your game and working on your weaknesses. There comes a lot of pressure with that, and Peyton Plotz finally adjusting and figure out what she needs to do to be successful this season.
1-1, Plotz grounds one foul.
And I also think, too, when you have such a good year, you come into the next season feeling like you need to do that again. And you put pressure on yourself that maybe isn't necessary. And I love the comment about letting the game come to you, because that's how you open up. That's how you play more free. And when you play free, you just rely on your skills that got you here in the first place.
Plotz was on another planet to begin this year. Had 7 home runs in about a 10-game stretch at the end of February, but then those 96 plate appearances between home runs. Marie, you have to imagine it was very mental for her in the midst, and it says a lot that she was able to battle through that.
You just need that one, and she got it yesterday to break through.
Gutierrez with a nice bounce back. K's Plotz for the second out of the inning.
This pitch from Gutierrez, a rise ball up and away. Peyton Plotz trying to go for that big swing. Can't get a piece of it.
Gutierrez bouncing back nicely after giving up the leadoff home run. Getting ahead of hitters early as she throws a first pitch ball to Maddie Clark, who has 8 hits in her last 6 games. Another Kentucky hitter that for large swaths of this year has really struggled, but finding her stride late in the year. Grounded to the left side. Martinez to first for the final out of the inning, but Carly Sleeman getting Kentucky on the board early.
Look at the pop from Carly Sleeman. No doubter. We're all tied up here in Lexington.
Things are heating up down the stretch of the SEC season. Texas coming into today a game back of Texas A&M for that coveted double bye. They hold the tiebreaker over the Aggies. Meanwhile, Kentucky's going to be the 15 seed, barring a couple of wins here at the end of the year. Texas, though, with a lot to play for down the stretch.
The SEC is just so strong this year, Noah. When you look at those standings, Texas is the number 4 team in the country, sitting in 5th place in the SEC, and it's what makes the league so much fun to watch every weekend, the battles that we're seeing on the dirt right now.
7 out of the top 10 teams, 8 out of the top 11 teams in the country in the Southeastern Conference. And if we're being honest, Kentucky's faced the lion's share of them this year.
I think it was the top 5 teams in the conference they've played a series against. Just absurd the amount of competition they've had to play in league play.
Rachel Lawson telling us earlier in the week, you look at the SEC record, she says it doesn't define this team because you look at the competition that Kentucky's played. I mean, just ask Louisville in the midweek. Kentucky goes there, a ranked Louisville team, and pulls off an upset.
Well, it's because they're preparing every week with playing the high level of competition in the SEC. And so there it is, the teams that they've played, so many at the top of the conference. And it's tough, too, because you're trying to keep morale high when you're going into these really tough weekend series. And that's one thing that Rachel Lawson says hasn't really wavered for this Kentucky team. They've been together. Their camaraderie's been there. It's just now figuring out how to win the games.
2-2 pitch just misses off the inside corner. Jose Chaparro, our home plate umpire today. Joe Havenhill is at first, and Perry Owens is at third. Payoff pitch, put in play. Plenty of room in left for Riddell, who makes the catch one step in front of the warning track for out number 1. If you're Kentucky, you need to pick up a few more wins here at the end of the year to guarantee yourself at least a 500 record. That's the stipulation to get into the NCAA tournament. But then, Maria, you have the question of, have they done enough in terms of RPI and the other metrics to even be considered if they get to that record? First pitch served into center.
And we just noted on their strength of schedule, the teams that they've had to play in league play are so high. They came into this weekend with at number 44 in the RPI, so they're right on that bubble space. It's just, what will the committee decide when the time comes?
I've seen teams get in with an RPI of 46, but more importantly for Kentucky, that's maintaining a 500 record. There has been conversations perhaps about playing a couple of games next week. Kentucky had a couple of games earlier this year postponed due to weather, so you do have that card in your back pocket if you need it.
And I think it's a great opportunity with 2 games left in this series against Texas. This is the number 4 team in the country, so if you're able to take one, if you take 2, you're really setting yourself up in a good position, but you need to have those convincing wins on your schedule.
And I think that's why that second game against Alabama last weekend really hurts, because Kentucky, you have the lead in the 7th, a chance to hand the Crimson Tide a loss. They come back and win that game. That could have been the signature win for Rachel Lawson's side.
And it all comes down to the little moments, right? Especially at this point in the season. It's not just that every game matters. It's every inning, every pitch, everything. Every time you step onto the field, you have to be thinking about the little moments that will make the difference.
The pitch on the 3-1 from Hendiges, dropped in the changeup on the corner at 54. JC Nichols at the plate. Uber talented freshman out of Durant, Oklahoma. Grounds it to the left side. Clark gloves it, nowhere to go. The speed of Nichols too much. And back-to-back hits now for Texas in the second.
This is what makes JC Nichols so lethal, is that she's a bit of a triple threat. She chops this ball perfectly, so even if you field it cleanly, you're not getting her at first base because of how quick she is.
And with 1 out, a runner in scoring position, in steps Ashton Maloney. Grounds to first. Hamilton gloves it. We're going to call that a foul ball. It was very close. Hamilton tried to get to it quickly enough before it spun foul.
Well, with a lot of these left-handed slappers, if they hit it to first base on the ground, that's the one place you might be able to actually get them out. So I like that Hamilton was aggressive, just curved foul too quickly on her.
Kentucky infielders in at the corners, pinched in the middle, 0-1. Just off the plate. Sarah Hendiges, a team leading 11 wins, facing a player in Ashton Maloney who's done a lot of winning in her Texas career. Joe's bunt was not able to pull back and now falls behind in the count.
I like that decision to drag bunt there, though, because even if you're out, it'll go down as a sacrifice. You move both runners over into scoring position for the top of the order. And if not, you're right back in there and have another shot at it.
1-2, grounded to second. Blum goes to second. They'll get the run. At second is Altmaier. Advances to third. Nichols out on the play. Maloney reaches on the fielder's choice.
How about that heads-up play, though, from Allie Blum to keep another runner out of scoring position? So now you have first and third, but a lot better than second and third.
Hendiges giving up a run with 2 outs back in inning number 1. Trying to hold this Texas lineup at bay here in the second. Facing Caden Henry, who led off the game with a single.
I think this is one of the most difficult parts. Well, there's a lot of difficult parts in this Texas offense, but that J.C. Nichols, Ashton Maloney to Caden Henry. It's 3 left-handed hitters who have speed, who have the ability to slap. They put so much pressure on a defense. And then they set the table for the big boppers and Katie Stewart, Reese Atwood. It's just so difficult, and it's so well constructed by Texas head coach Mike White.
There aren't many places you can take a mental break as a pitcher. 2-1, hit to center where Donaldson camps underneath it for the final out of the inning. Sarah Hendiges in and out of trouble in the second. Kentucky coming to bat when we come back. Just over a week away from the SEC softball tournament that'll be played here at John Kropp Stadium on a campus site for the final time. Right now, Kentucky would play on that first day of the tournament. And Maria, your reward for getting into the tournament is a potential matchup against either Alyssa Faircloth or Peja Gould.
Well, that's the thing. We're going to talk about the SEC all game long, no, but there's no breath you can take against any team because of the level of competition that we see in this conference this season.
That's going to be such a great tournament here, May 5th through the 9th. As Hamilton swings at the first pitch, skied into right where Maloney makes the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the second.
Well, you talk about the implications of this game in this series for Kentucky, but there's also the implications for Texas trying to get that double bye. That is a gauntlet of a tournament, and you want to try to save your pitchers as much as you can to get to the end of it.
Grounded sharply. Christine Himes, the third base coach for Kentucky, trying to make the play off her hands. Here's Abby Hammond, the freshman from Lexington, Kentucky, went to nearby Lexington Catholic and has been a pleasant surprise in both the circle and in the batter's box this year. 0-1 down Main Street.
Sarah Hendiges had so much great stuff to say about Abby Hammond. said she plays so many different positions, but she's been so adaptable and has been such a great addition to this team.
0-2 to Hammond. Playable in the infield. Nichols in foul territory makes the catch for out number 2. Going back to that conversation about the double bye, that was something that Texas was able to earn a year ago. They get to that semifinal, ultimately falling to the top seed Texas A&M, but then they made a run all the way to the top of the mountain, taking down Texas Tech in the Champ Series down in Oklahoma City. Foul ball here for Riddell. It is crazy to think that we're 6 weeks away from crowning a champion in this sport.
I cannot believe it's this point in the season already. We're almost to Mayhem, a couple days away, but it feels like the season just started a couple weeks ago, and here we are talking about postseason implications already. I guess if I look at my flight miles and all the places I've been, that should tell me that, hey, we are later in the season. But this is the best time of year. I get so excited. You have conference tournaments, you have regionals, super regionals, and then the Women's College World Series.
1-1. Riddell down the right field line, giving chase is Leanne Good, makes the catch in foul territory for the final out of the inning. And stick around. We'll talk to Mike White when we come back. Back in Lexington, where 4th-ranked Texas in Kentucky knotted up at a run apiece. Top of the 3rd, as we are now joined by national champion head coach Mike White. Coach, last night's game, your team put together some great at-bats. You really grinded late into that game, were able to deliver late. What stood out about the quality of the ABs this weekend?
I think it was just hitting through the order and just being on time. I think that's a lot of it, and we really made it work and got a lot of pitches, and consequently got a lot of hits. That was good.
Coach, Lolly's been able to really get these Kentucky hitters to pop up. What has made her effective in that way?
Yeah, I think just hitting the locations. Obviously made a mistake there to Sleeman, and she made it pay for it. But yeah, for the most part, be able to use their spin pitches as well.
Well, Coach, thank you. We appreciate the time.
Hey, thank you. Hook 'em.
Tied up as we head to the 3rd. Katie Stewart coming to the plate for the 2nd time in this game. Walked and would come around to score the first run of the game for Texas back in the 1st. Sarah Hendiges has thrown 40 pitches through the first 2 innings of this game. Has had to throw some stress pitches early and faces one of the nation's best hitters here. Gets her to foul off the first pitch. Stewart in the midst of the best year of her career. Junior out of Frankfort, Illinois, putting up some gaudy numbers for Texas in the 2-hole. And Maria, if you're Sarah Hendiges in this spot facing a hitter that doesn't have many holes in her swing, what is your approach in the circle?
doing something different than you did the first time around against Katie Stewart. The way you're successful at this level is switching it up first time through the order to second time through the order, because these hitters are so great, they make adjustments so quickly. So if I'm Sarah Hendiges, I'm thinking, what can I add in my repertoire second time around?
1-2 pitch in the dirt.
And here's the thing, Katie Stewart is such a great hitter, you still might make the perfect pitch and she can hit it out. It's all about location though. Can you locate it where you want it?
2-2 out and away as Stewart chases out of the zone, and Hendiges records her second strikeout of the afternoon.
Hendiges starts ahead, gets a foul ball, and then she's able to come back with this pitch right here. The curveball on the outside part of the plate then breaks a little bit. Stewart can't get on plane with it. Big pitch from Hendiges.
You know, you really have to be impressed with Sarah Hendiges and how she's been pitching lately. There was some rocky outings early in SEC play, but she's been really good against some of the best teams in the country here late in the year.
She told me that her dad told her when she was 8 years old, you need to pitch with a bulldog mentality. And Sarah said, I kind of like that, and it stuck with her all through her college softball career. Now she's a senior, and she's been pitching with that bulldog mentality as of late.
Catches the corner there on the 2-0. Hendiges starting her career at Oregon State, spent 3 years playing for the Beavers, transfers to Lexington. Multiple double-digit win seasons, including 11 this year.
She's getting some great break on that pitch that's going inside to left-handed hitters and then away from right-handed hitters. That's what she struck Katie Stewart out on. You see she gets a swing and a miss there on it again.
Grounded up the middle, Blum lays out, got a glove on it, but it trickles into center field as Martinez records her 5th hit of the series.
How about the adjustment, though, from Viviana Martinez? That's the same pitch she swung and missed on right before. This time gets enough of it to hit it back up the middle for a single.
Had 4 hits in the opening game of the series yesterday as Rachel Lawson makes the visit to the circle here. You have to imagine this is as much about the hitter at the plate as it is about defensive alignment with the speedy Martinez over at first.
Well, there's so many things you have to account for here. As you said, the speed, the power. I also think it's just a moment to talk to Sarah Hendiges and say, hey, you're throwing really well. Let's continue with that. It also might be a discussion on how you want to approach Reese Atwood, especially after what she did in her first at-bat.
Atwood with an RBI single, driving in Texas's first run of the game. Hendiges starts her off down in the zone. Atwood set the Texas single-season home run record a year ago with 23. Told you Katie Stewart's breathing down her neck right now with 22 this year, trying to top that mark. Atwood, one of the premier catchers in college softball. Filthy changeup.
That dependable changeup, as we called it early on in this game. That's something you want to implement second time through the order as well. They've seen your fast stuff. Now throw something different.
1-2 served into right field. Plotz won't get there. Texas goes station to station. And Atwood delivers her 2nd hit of the day. 3rd now of the series. And for the 3rd inning in a row, Sarah Hendiges has to work with traffic on the base paths.
Well, what makes Reese Atwood so good is, yes, she's known for her home runs, but she's a great situational hitter as well. She doesn't try to do too much with that pitch, just blooped it into right to pass the bat to her teammate.
Brings up Leanne Good. We haven't even talked about Reese Atwood's defense. Can we do that next inning?
Please. I have a lot to say about that. I have a whole page of notes.
One of the most complete catchers in college softball. 0-1 to Good. Hendiges doesn't get the call. Some groans from the pro-Kentucky crowd here at John Kropp Stadium. Another big crowd on a Saturday afternoon. That's a strike on the inside corner.
I love the resilience there, though. You don't get that first one, don't let it get in your head, just come back with another strike.
Sticking to the theme of staying inside, doesn't want Good to extend those hands.
We saw that yesterday, though, the pitching staff for Kentucky trying to throw Good more on the inside, seeing if they could jam, or they're continuing that today.
Serves a ball foul down the right field line.
And that's exactly why, though. Do you see where that pitch is? It's on the inside corner, and Good just weakly hitting it down the first baseline. Now, she's an elite hitter. I can see her making an adjustment, but until she proves to you that she can hit that pitch, I'd keep throwing it there.
Good has put together the best offensive year of her career in her senior year. 2-2, Hendiges inside once again. She's had to throw quite a few stressful pitches. A 7th pitch of this at-bat coming. And popped up. There'll be room for Emmert. Makes the catch. Both runners, though, going to move up. Good piece of base running there from Texas. Emmert looked a little caught off guard.
Well, that pop-up has Ella Emmert facing the backstop, so she can't see those runners. She's also in an awkward position where even if she tried to turn around and throw, it'd be difficult. So a great job by Texas taking advantage of that opportunity.
So whose job is communicating that the runners are going in that situation, Maria?
I would say the corners. I think it goes for the infield as a whole. You're constantly communicating, yelling to each other, but I just feel like even if they were saying, hey, they're going, look at how her back is turned, right? She falls over a little bit too. By the time she even gets up off the netting, both runners are halfway to the next base.
There's great presence on the base pass there for Martinez and Atwood, a couple veterans on this roster. That'll bring up the true freshman, Hannah Wells. Pair of runners in scoring position, swinging at the first pitch, drives it deep down the left field line. It goes into the Kentucky bullpen.
Well, that's what separates the good teams from the great teams, is all of those little things. We know that Texas can hit the long ball. We know they have speed, but can you take advantage of mistakes by your opponent?
That's on the corner for Hendiges. So far in this game, she's had to pitch in several challenging spots, but has worked her way out of major trouble. Trying to do it again here in the third.
Says she loves having the ball in her hands, and she's proven that so far today.
1-2, grounded to third. Sleeman across the diamond. And for the second inning in a row, Sarah Hendiges strands 2 Longhorns on base. We'll talk to her pitch caller when we get back at John Kropp Stadium. Back at John Kropp Stadium. one apiece as we head to the bottom of the third inning, joined now by Kentucky head coach Rachel Lawson. And Coach, I want to take you back to last night. Peyton Plotz comes up in that fourth inning, hits a 2-run home run, got you guys back in that game. She struggled this year. How good is it to see her having success here at the end of the year?
Yeah, well, last couple of weeks she's definitely been trending up and has gotten some key hits at us in our wins. So just really happy with the direction she's going.
Coach, Sarah Hendigas really keeping these Texas hitters off balance. Why?
You know, she's just commanding both sides of the plate, doing a good job with her off speed. You know, they're a very good team, so you have to be patient when you're a pitcher and keep making your pitches, and she's doing a good job with that.
Coach, last question for you. Senior day today. What do these four mean to this program?
Oh, they're awesome. You know, they're loyal. They're true blue through and through. You know, they're sticking with us through the hard times, and, you know, a lot of people don't do that, so can't say enough about them.
Coach, thank you for the time.
All right, thank you. Go Cats.
We've got a 1-1 ball game as we head to the bottom of the third inning, and one of those seniors, Ella Emmert, coming to the plate. A big play early in this game, gunning down Henry at second base. First time she's been caught stealing all year long. Senior batting for the first time here in the third.
We said we were going to talk about the defensive play of Reese Atwood, but how about that defensive play by Ella Emmert in that first inning to get the speedy Henry? I mean, we've got to give credit to both catchers here.
1-0 from Gutierrez is low. Has done a nice job of bouncing back after giving up that leadoff home run to Carly Sleeman. On the 2-0, Emmert off the end of the bat in foul territory for Nichols. The first down of the frame.
One of Citlali Gutierrez's best pitches is that off-speed curve, and we've seen the last 4 Kentucky hitters pop out. The majority of those pop-outs have been on that off-speed curve. So if you're watching your teammates get out on that pitch, how do you make an adjustment when you step into the box when it's your turn?
So Maria, you're standing in the on-deck circle. You're watching what's happening to the hitter in front of you. How are you utilizing that information when you step into the batter's box?
Well, it's exactly what I just said, right? You're seeing that off-speed curve be effective, and then you're also seeing the different speeds. And so what you want to do as a hitter is say, okay, I'm either going to sit fast or off-speed. So that means even if she throws that off-speed pitch right down the middle and I'm sitting fast, I'm taking it, I'm letting it go until I get to 2 strikes. And that will take the guessing out of, am I going to be ahead of it? Am I going to be on time? And that's what you need to learn when you're watching your teammates struggle with a particular pitch.
0-2 to Donaldson. Gutierrez has her second K, and don't look now, she's retired 8 straight Kentucky batters after that leadoff home run.
It's not just the change of speed, it's also the spin rate on her pitches as well. So it might look like it's a strike coming in, and by the time you're done swinging at it, it's out of the zone, and that's what makes Gutierrez so effective.
Well, she will face Carly Sleeman, who got the better of her to begin this game, homering on the 6th pitch of the at-bat. And Sleeman wraps the ball into the hole. It's short. What a pretty play by Martinez. Made that look easy. And Citlali Gutierrez has now retired 9 in a row. All smiles for Texas, tied headed to the 4th. Good ball game early between Kentucky and 4th-ranked Texas. And for Texas, trying to rack up more wins here at the end of the year. Yes, you want to put together a resume that gives you a double bye in the SEC tournament, but already starting to maybe look ahead a little bit to Mayhem. And they've put together a resume, Maria, that should have them as a super regional host once again this year.
It's so important to get that host spot as well. The longer that you can play at home, the better rested you are by the time you get to the Women's College World Series. We've seen it play out positively for so many teams and then negatively for others. So much at stake with these last few games of the regular season.
You think of a team like Liberty a year ago. They go to College Station, they take down the #1 ranked Aggies, but then you have to fly all the way out to Eugene to play at Oregon. Lost both games.
Exactly. It's that toll that the travel takes on your body. Dot Richardson even talking about it, saying we flew home to Virginia, then we flew out to Eugene, and there were all these emotions and energy. We took down the #1 team in the country, and so much travel and time change. So if you can get a host spot through Supers, you put yourself in a great spot.
Inside Fordham zone, Maria Travel Piece. I'm Noah Frary. 4th inning here in this pivotal SEC game, particularly for Kentucky as they try to stay above 500 here at the end of the year and give the decision makers something to think about late in the season. Altmaier shoots the gap. She'll be on second with a leadoff double. Texas has had plenty of traffic on the base paths thoroughly.
Sometimes pitches hang in the strike zone. That's what happens with this one, right down the middle. Kyle Altmaier capitalizing on it and with an easy stand-up double.
So she will be at second. Runner in scoring position, nobody out as Nichols shows the bunt with both Kentucky corner infielders charging. Maria, if you're one of those corner infielders here, you field it quickly. Where are you going?
I'm still going to first. I just don't think you want to risk it trying to go to third in this situation.
Served into center, long run. Donaldson makes the catch for out #1. Nice play. He's played a lot of third base this year in center field today. Incredible athlete.
I've been so impressed with her versatility all season long, having to move from infield to outfield. She got a great jump on that ball. That's why she's even able to make that catch.
I think that's what makes the improvement for Kentucky defensively this season even more impressive, due to the fact that there's been 7 players playing in positions they had not played prior to this year.
That's what happens in college. It's the next woman up. You're going to battle injuries, especially 50-plus game season, right? So you have to be able to step up when your number is called, and especially if you're a player who maybe wouldn't have gotten in otherwise. Being versatile and having the ability to play infield, outfield helps you so much.
Bounce back pitch on the 2-0. Lauren Borzilleri was expected to be the only returner on the infield. She sustained an injury in the fall, kept her out, and that led to a tidal wave of defensive changes that Kentucky's had to work through. Here's another play, this one a bit easier for Donaldson for out #2. A couple of weak contact outs induced by Sarah Hendiges.
I love the response from Sarah Hendiges though, right? Runner gets on, she leaves a pitch down the middle, immediately goes back to spinning the ball. That's why she gets those weak pop-outs.
Maria, what makes that spin so challenging for a batter?
It starts one spot and finishes another. So when you're trying to get on plane with it, you're either underneath it or a little bit ahead of it. And that's something that hitters, I think, in today's game have gotten so great at, is getting on plane earlier. The faster you can get on plane and in the zone and stay in the zone, you have a better chance of hitting the ball. But when it's spinning, that's what the pitcher is trying to do, combat you staying on plane. And so Mike White talked about it a lot when we chatted with him about hitting, and with his hitting coach, Aaron Earlywine, what they work on with their hitters is staying on plane, making that good contact. And on the pitching side, you're trying to oppose that.
And when you talk about staying on plane, what you're talking about is the path that the bat takes through the zone?
Yes, absolutely. So we'll watch if there's a swing and we can break it down a bit. So she squares to bump, but it's when your hands come off your shoulder, right? And it enters the strike zone. If you can keep that bat in the strike zone for the longest amount of time, you have a greater chance of making contact.
As opposed to perhaps swinging down or swinging up, it gives the chance for that softball to work under the bat?
Exactly. Like, think about it. The longer it's in the zone, the longer you have to hit the ball. If it's only in the zone for a split second, you only have that tiny margin of error to actually hit the ball.
2-1 into center field, where Donaldson will tie a Kentucky record. She records all 3 outs in the inning. Kentucky and Sarah Hendiges holding Texas at bay early.
Underway. Crushes one. Just smash this. Throw the bat. And the drama continues.
And all the drama continues here at John Kropp Stadium. May 5th through the 9th, the premier postseason tournament. All 15 SEC softball teams are going to be here in Lexington at this gorgeous facility that's gone through multiple upgrades, getting set for that tournament. Maria, I feel like we've been talking about it all year long. We're almost here.
I got chills watching that video, Noah. I can't believe that it's this time of year already, and the SEC tournament is the excitement before the big mayhem, right? A couple years ago, they had those multiple, I think, 14-inning games. It's such great softball all in one place.
Grounded to third. Across the diamond, out number 1, and Gutierrez has really started to cruise. She's thrown just 14 pitches to record the last 7 outs in this game. What's she been doing well?
Location, you heard Coach White talk about it when we spoke to him in the 3rd inning. She missed on the location of Carly Sleeman, but now she's been able to place her pitches exactly where she wants. So it looks good enough to swing at, but it has such tight spin, Kentucky can't square it up.
Bring up Peyton Plotz, attacks the first pitch, shallow center field, where Caden Henry slides in to make the catch for out number 2. One of the best defensive center fielders in the game, with a sparkler here for the 2nd out of the frame.
She has so much speed, but also Caden Henry getting a great jump on this, not sliding until the last moment to get a big 2nd out for the Longhorns.
Just 3 pitches in the frame for Gutierrez. 14 pitches in the 1st inning, 14 total in innings 2 and 3, and has thrown just 3 pitches to record the first 2 outs here in the 4th. Maddie Clark playing some good softball lately, trying to extend the inning.
Well, you have to guess Kentucky's trying to get ahead on Citlali Gutierrez, because Gutierrez has worked ahead on batters, and if you get behind to her, she's going to throw that off-speed curve that's so difficult to hit.
Grounded to short. Martinez has to back up on it, but displays the cannon for out number 3. Citlali Gutierrez is cruising here through 4 innings. Senior Day, Kentucky, honoring 4 of their seniors. Carissa Hamilton, Ella Emmert, Sarah Hendiges, and Maddie Clark. Those 4 seniors combining for 448 appearances in a Kentucky jersey, and each of them playing an instrumental role this season, Maria.
Every single one has been a huge part of this Kentucky team. You saw Maddie Clark pregame tearing up as she was getting her flowers, and that's one of the special things about a senior day is you get to recognize everything that you've accomplished in your home school's uniform. And it's just a culmination of your softball career too. Like, this has been such a huge part of your life from the time you were a young girl. You made friends in travel ball, now in college, and it's all coming to an end, but it's something to celebrate.
Some will continue to play, but for the lion's share, they'll see their season, their careers come to an end when this year ends. Talk about someone like Sarah Hendiges, who recently accepted a position as a recruiter at Insight Global. She'll be down in the Boca Raton office. That's a great place to spend most of your year.
Her family moved to Florida. That was one of the reasons why she thought about coming to Kentucky, is because she wanted to be closer so that her parents could come see her play. Now gets to continue on in that beautiful area of the country. Boca Raton, not a bad place to be, Noah.
Definitely not. Especially come January, a little bit different than she's probably dealt with here in Lexington. Last couple of years, we had ice on the ground for 15 consecutive days.
That's not fun.
No, it wasn't. Hit hard down the left field line. It'll go off the facade of the hitting facility for Katie Stewart. Walked and struck out. One shy of the program record, tying it 2 to break.
The fans here in Lexington not thrilled with that call. I think it was a ball. It's a great location for a 2-2 pitch, but a little outside.
Hit to center. Donaldson gloves it. She's recorded the last 4 outs for Kentucky. Texas hitters on to try hitting it somewhere else.
Well, we've talked a lot about the spin from Citlali Gutierrez, but Sarah Hendiges spinning the ball really well here also. Uses that curveball, especially away to righties, and we've seen her have success with that here today.
That'll miss for Hendiges to start the at-bat to Viviana Martinez. Been great at the plate so far this weekend. We saw her display the missile of an arm to end last inning. Grounds to second here, good hop for Blum. And when you think about this Texas team, getting a player like Martinez back ahead of hopefully another run to the College World Series is huge.
Well, offensively and defensively, I know she just grounded out there, but was successful at the plate yesterday. Defensively, you saw the way she ended that last half inning. She was in the grass, moving backwards, and still fired a strike to first base.
Hit hard, Atwood to right field for Plotz. And a clean 1-2-3 inning for Sarah Hendiges. Still tied. Headed to the bottom of the fifth at John Kropp Stadium. Hendiges pitching well on senior day. Texas won game one last night. Game two has been entertaining. All the scoring happening early. Reese Atwood delivering an RBI single to drive in Katie Stewart. Then Carly Sleeman, the first batter that Citlali Gutierrez faced, homering off of the Texas right-hander. Tied at 1 as we head to the fifth. Look now, Maria, pitcher's duel breaking out.
I am a huge fan of the pitcher's duel, especially in this era of college softball where we see so many home runs. Don't get me wrong, I love the long ball, but you have to work for every run and every hit in these matchups.
That one served down the right field line. It just hooks foul. Hamilton trying to become the first Wildcat to reach base since Sleeman homered to lead off this game. Citlali Gutierrez has retired 12 straight Kentucky hitters. Hamilton was one of those 4 seniors recognized during that senior day ceremony earlier today. He's been a staple, 205th career appearance in the Kentucky jersey for her today. And Rachel Lawson talks a lot about how unselfish she was this year, moving to first base. We touched on the injury to Borzilleri earlier in the year. Hamilton has played a really nice first base, learning that on the fly this season.
That's not an easy position to just pick up, right? You have to learn how you're going to cover bunts, how you're going to take throws from different places on the infield, which, you know, as we watch games, the first baseman's involved in so many plays, and we almost take it for granted. Carissa Hamilton stepping in and learning that role says so much about who she is as a player and a person.
1-2 from Gutierrez. Hamilton lays off. Gutierrez cruising right now, has thrown just 20 pitches over the last 3 innings. 4 here in the fifth. Hamilton scolds one to left. It'll get down and one hop the wall. She'll make the turn at first and will be on second with a leadoff double.
I wanted to see Kentucky work deeper at bats, to see more pitches against Gutierrez. That's what Carissa Hamilton does, and that's why she gets all of this ball. to end up on second for Kentucky.
Hamilton comes up with the big poke to left, and Kentucky has their first runner in scoring position of this game. Maria, to your point, Kentucky batters have only seen 5 or more pitches 3 times in this game. They're 2 for 3, a double and a home run off of Gutierrez.
Well, we saw a 6th pitch at bat from Carly Sleeman, and now you just see the same thing from Carissa Hamilton. Looks, I'm not sure what happened there.
Looked like a pitch clock violation, so she will see a strike here, starting with an 0-1 count.
Well, there, now you have a 1-1 count. You're working deeper in the count, like we said we wanted to see Kentucky do. But in all seriousness, the more pitches you can see against Gutierrez, the better you can get your timing down.
Hamilton hit hard to first. A nice play by Stewart. I think that one caught her for the first down of the inning.
You can't hit that ball much better. This pitch on the outside corner, Abby Hammond just lacing it. What a play by Katie Stewart over there at first base.
And with 1 down, Alexa Riddell at the plate. Swings at the first pitch from Gutierrez.
And it's tough too, because you want to be aggressive, right? Because you don't want to get behind and maybe chase that off-speed curve. But on the flip side, you want to see as many pitches as you can to get timing to figure out how to get on plane. And so it's figuring out that balance when you're in the batter's box.
Pitch misses low and inside to Riddell. Had a nice freshman season, still trying to figure out SEC pitching. It's a big adjustment going from playing the high school game to facing the best pitchers in America day after day. Grounded up the middle. Martinez to first, as Hamilton stays put at second.
And to your point, Noah, it's not only just playing pitchers in high school. You may play on one of the most elite travel teams in the country, and you're facing great pitchers every weekend all summer. But when you get to the SEC, you also have older pitchers who have been here for a while, who have seen lots of film, who have worked with some of the most elite pitching coaches in the country. And so you have to learn how to adjust to that.
Think of someone like Gutierrez, who's been a mainstay for this Texas program, a senior herself. It's a big experience mismatch between a pitcher like her and Riddell in the batter's box. Continuing to work ahead of these Kentucky hitters, trying to work around the leadoff double.
But the only way to get experience is to get in the batter's box, is to get on the field. And so that's how you become better as a player. It may take longer for some, but that's okay. If you're learning and constantly improving, you can compete at this level.
Emmert stays on that pitch, sends it to center. Drifting back is Henry for the final out of the inning as the Wildcats strand their only runner in scoring position today at second. Let's head to the 6th at JCS. was another loud night for the Oklahoma Sooners. They broke 2 home run records, Kendall Wells, and then the team record 165 home runs. Maria, I want to talk about this South Carolina-Texas A&M series because a win in game number 1 for Ashley Chastain's Woodard side is huge.
Absolutely. With the way that they've been playing, they've had some bright spots this season, but have fumbled in other areas. To get that win starts to turn the tide for that South Carolina team, a team that we saw a season ago have so much success, especially in the postseason.
If you're a Texas fan, you love seeing Texas A&M go down. Texas battling them as Sleeman lays out, makes the catch, throws to first in time. We'll wait on that thought. Sleeman with a Sports Center worthy play there to retire the leadoff hitter here in the 6th.
Carly Sleeman putting the team on her back today, first with the bat and now with the glove, full on diving over the foul line, and then from her knees, Noah, look at that throw. Oh my goodness.
And you can see the emotion there. It's been a tough year for this Kentucky program, as we mentioned, going up against the best teams in the country on a nearly nightly basis. Sometimes you just got to celebrate those little moments in the midst of that challenging stretch. And for Kentucky late in this game, you've got a lot to play for because suddenly you pick up a win against the 4th-ranked team in the country. You probably are going to be above 500, and now you give the committee something to think about.
Your RPI is a decent spot coming into this game. If you have a big win against a ranked opponent, and then hey, if you can go on a run in the SEC tournament, you just want to keep adding to your resume to leave less doubt about whether or not you should make the tournament.
Sarah Hendiges following up what I think was the best start of the year against Alabama last weekend, went 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs in that game. She's been excellent today against one of the best offenses in the country. 2-2, Wells spoils a pitch.
She told me that she's never looked forward to going to the field any other year as much as this year. Sarah Hendiges loves this team, and I think that's why she's been pitching well, especially as of late, because she knows that they have her back. She wants to support and help them, and you want to peak at the right time. There's no better time to peak than right now.
Off the plate, fouled off into the Texas bullpen. She's certainly peaking at the right time. And when you talk to Rachel Lawson, she feels like her team is playing some of their best softball here at the end of the year.
It's all about then translating some of that best softball into wins, right? When you're losing games, okay, take the little wins within the game, maybe a good at-bat, a good play, but then translate it into victories.
Hit hard, Blum goes to her knees to make the catch on the liner. 2 outs in the 6th.
Carly Sleeman's play becomes so important in this game, Noah, because it sets the tone, right? She set the tone with her home run, but now she gets one of the best Texas hitters out on a diving play. Now Allie Blum makes a good play on a hard hit ball to second. You can build momentum heading into these later innings.
100th pitch of the afternoon for Hendiges, a first pitch ball to Kaya Altmaier, who was the last Texas hitter to reach against the Kentucky ace. Led off the 4th with a double, was stranded in scoring position. Hits it to first, and Kentucky's glove work here in the 6th is on point. Hamilton climbs the ladder to complete the 1-2-3 inning.
To win big games, you have to make the big plays. Here's the 3rd big play of the inning, this one coming from Carissa Hamilton. We're still tied up here in Lexington.
ESPN is your home for the Women's College World Series. Coverage begins May 28th on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. The race to hoist that coveted trophy. Texas hoisted it a year ago for the first time in program history. Texas has been in the Women's College World Series consistently under Mike White over these last several years. Being tested though here in the second game of this series against Kentucky. Coming into today, a 21-game SEC losing streak. It's their longest since the 2003 season. They could really use a win here at the end of the year for multiple reasons. Donaldson clubs one to center. And Henry just continues to make it look easy out there. Such a good defensive center fielder.
Kaden Henry made it look like a routine fly ball, but she had to get a great jump and use so much speed to make that play. She's incredible.
Well, with one out in the sixth, that'll bring up Carly Sleeman, her home run to lead off this game. The only run off Citlali Gutierrez.
Carly Sleeman had a long at-bat, waited for her pitch, and that's why she was able to hit that home run. She told me coming into this series that when she gets in the box, she thinks nobody's going to beat me. And Sleeman telling us that that confidence is what's helped her be so good at the plate for the Wildcats this season.
A circle visit here, and a pitching change coming in the sixth. Mike White going to the bullpen in a 1-1 game with Carly Sleeman due up. Citlali Gutierrez's day is done. Texas turning to their ace here in a late tie game. A high-stakes showdown, and Mike White going to his ace. Tegan Cavan coming in with one out here in the bottom of the sixth. Had the win yesterday in game one. Going to try to finish this one off for the Longhorns.
Well, you're not taking any chances. Every game matters. We've talked about it all game long, so that's why he brings in Cavan here.
And welcome to this game. First pitch swing from Sleeman into the glove of Leanne Good. And there are two outs here in the bottom of the sixth.
You also have to think about this is the third time through the Kentucky lineup, and especially Carly Sleeman right there had two good cuts off Citlali Gutierrez, so I think that's why Mike White turns to his ace and Tegan Cavan in this moment.
Gutierrez was excellent today. Threw just 51 pitches through 5 1/3 innings. And now Blum swinging at the first pitch. You can see Kentucky making a bit of an adjustment here against Cavan the second time through this weekend.
Well, Cavan is different than Gutierrez. Gutierrez has that off-speed curve, different speeds. Cavan's more of a harder thrower with up and down movement, so you have to adjust when you step into the box against her differently than against Gutierrez.
Kentucky hitter's a bit late right now. What's that tell you?
Exactly what I just said. She's a hard thrower, right? So Gutierrez was throwing that curve a lot, so Kentucky's timed up with that. Now you have somebody like Tegan Cavan throwing in the upper 60s. You're a little bit off time now. So how do you adjust? I think for me, I'd probably move towards the back of the box just to give myself a split second more to time it up, especially the first time facing Cavan today.
0-2 upstairs. Maria, you'd know this, but as a batter facing the pitcher with velocity, sometimes you can just let her do the lion's share of the work. All you got to do is get the bat head on it.
But that's part of the problem, right? Because Tegan Cavan not only throws 70 miles an hour, as we saw on that pitch, it's rising too. So, yeah, make contact, it'll go, but it's hard to make contact.
There's the rise ball, gets the K. Cavan comes in and gets the final 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th, tied at 1 here in Lexington. Headed to the 7th in a tie game, and for Kentucky, this game means a ton. Trying to stay above 500, trying to put themselves in a position to get to another NCAA tournament. Maria, if you're Kentucky, you've got to get this done.
Well, they've been doing everything they can. We just saw the great defensive plays an inning ago. They're rising to the challenge to give themselves an opportunity to play in May.
A Kentucky program that has been amidst the upper echelon. They've been to 16 straight NCAA tournaments, one of 11 programs to do that. As Sarah Hendiges throws a first pitch strike to JC Nichols, the 8-hole hitter. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Texas lineup, facing the Kentucky ace. Hendiges pitching on senior day, turning in a gem, trying to give her team a chance to pick up a perhaps season-changing victory here in game 2. 1-1, grounded back up the middle, off the glove of Clark. It'll allow Nichols to reach to lead off the 7th.
Speed kills, and you see it play out right here. This ball chopped by JC Nichols, and even if you fielded it cleanly, I just don't think that you get her at first because of how quick she is.
Kentucky's had a lot of trouble with Nichols. 5 hits in the series, including 2 today. Texas has a runner on first as Ashton Maloney shows bunt.
That's why this is such a great part of the order for Texas, because they have the 3 speedsters in a row who can slap or bunt. So you can advance runners with either.
That bunt, foul. We'll do it again.
And there's just this added pressure when you have slap hitters in the box, especially if you're an infielder, because they can do so many things, and you're thinking about how quick you have to get rid of the ball. And that adds a little bit of pressure to when you're trying to make a throw.
There's a conversation taking place near home plate. And now Rachel Lawson out of the dugout to talk to Jose Shapiro, our home plate umpire today. Looked like she was agreeable with the explanation she was given. Big spot in this game, Texas trying to keep pace as they eye a double bye in a couple weeks here in Lexington. That one's popped up. If Sleeman had not been charging in, may have had a play on that ball.
It's tough though because you see the top hand move, and as a corner, your first reaction is to charge in. And so even if she was a little bit farther back, she would have been moving forward on that square.
Bunt probably off in this situation. 1-2, swinging away is Maloney. And into right field she goes, and the first two have reached in the Texas 7th.
How about the situational hitting there from Ashton Maloney? You essentially don't do your job, right? You didn't get the bunt down, but Maloney then battling with 2 strikes and still finding a way to not only get on base, but move her teammate to second.
This will be the 4th time through the Texas batting order. Henry shows bunt, pulls back, pitches a strike on the corner as Nichols dances off of second. Henry making a trip over to talk to Mike White, the 8th-year head coach of this Texas program. Longtime head coach of the Oregon Ducks. Has lived in the postseason during his coaching career.
Phenomenal player himself, a great pitcher in the men's game. He offers so much to this team because of that as well, because he's lived it, he's done it. He even told us he was going to throw batting practice before the game, so he's still doing it.
I'd call that a cheat code.
Right? I wouldn't want to hit off him. He was phenomenal.
352 wins in his 8 seasons down on the 40 acres. Henry again pulls back. This one misses. Texas applying a lot of pressure on the base paths here.
You have to expect that a bunt can come at any moment. You have to know as an infielder where you're going with that ball.
This time Henry gets it down. Sleeman fakes the throw to first, and the bases are loaded. 3 straight singles. Texas threatening here in the 7th. And with the bases loaded, that'll bring up Katie Stewart, one of the premier power hitters in the game, and had this home run to down Oklahoma a few weeks back.
I'm not sure what I'm more impressed with, Noah, the home run or the spike of the bat before she jogged around the bases. But Katie Stewart has been such a phenomenal hitter for this Texas team and incredibly clutch all season long. And that's why you have her in this 2 spot in the order. You have the Nichols, the Maloney, the Henry to set the table for her. Now it's up to her to find a way to poke one through.
All I'm going to say is I think Travis Kelce would have been impressed with that spike of the bat.
I was impressed. We'll have to tag him and see what he thinks about it on social media.
Bases loaded, nobody out in the 7th. Sarah Hendiges has made a living today pitching out of trouble, but this is about as perilous as a spot as you can be in. Nobody out. The 2, 3, 4 hitters due up here in the 7th. Stewart comes into this at bat 1 home run shy of tying Reese Atwood's single season program record for home runs. Could we see one here? 2-0 to Stewart. There it goes! Katie Stewart has tied the record in grand fashion.
You had to feel like Katie Stewart was cooking something up for this at bat. Sarah Hendiges leaves this ball over the plate. Stewart says, I will take that, thank you very much. A grand slam for number 20 in Texas.
And Reese Atwood, you have company. 23rd of the season, tying the single season program record. And Texas finally gets to the Kentucky Ace. And if you're Kentucky, that's a tough pill to swallow. Hendiges had been so good out there, but worked herself into a jam that she just was not able to get out of.
And it's tough too because they were just quick singles, right? That 8-9-1 spot in the Longhorns lineup, just passing the bat and getting ready for Katie Stewart to do what she does best.
You've heard the old adage, a bloop and a blast. I don't think those were bloop shots. They were really nice pieces of hitting, but then Stewart knew what to do.
That's why softball is so fun, because everybody has a role.
Now served into left field, where the catch is made by Riddell for the first out of the inning.
And you have your home run hitters, right? Like a Katie Stewart, but then you have those 8-9-1 hitters and Nichols, Maloney, Henry. They use their speed. That's how they're having success in this game. Katie Stewart uses her power, and that's what makes a team, right? You put all those pieces together.
Texas has been one of the most complete teams in the country this year. Preseason #1. They've been inside the top 5 in every poll this season. Nice change up there to Atwood. Off the bottom of the zone.
You let a top team hang around long enough, that's what happens too, right? The more pitches they see, the more at-bats they have. The better their timing is, the better contact they make.
A lot of Texas fans in the ballpark today. Pleased with what they've seen from their Longhorns. And Mike White had to go to his knees to avoid that hot shot. He still got it over there.
Look at those reflexes. He taps his chest. Reese Atwood's checking on him. Just misses his head. Smiling over there. Reese Atwood chuckling to herself as well.
Hearing it a little bit from her dugout too. Mike White's gotta be saying, what'd I ever do to you? 2-2 pitch from Hendiges misses inside as Atwood has to skip rope.
I remember as a player that being one of the scariest moments of softball, right? When you're the runner on third and you have a right-handed pull hitter up. Get me out of there.
Driven down the left field line, it hooks foul. Maria, that's why I'm up here in the broadcast booth. There's a net between me, and I've got an analyst that had a really good glove back in the day.
Listen, I also say that's why I wanted to play the outfield in college. Please do not put me on the hot corners. You know how fast that ball gets up on you? Send me 200 feet away. I'll catch the ball back there.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat for Hendiges. And Atwood, who will be playing in the AUSL over the summer, continues to battle. Such a cool golden ticket moment. Gotta just say how much I love the golden tickets that we've seen over the last several weeks in college softball.
It's such a special moment for the people receiving the golden ticket, but also for the teammates around them. You get to see them celebrate each other. Such a great idea by the AUSL.
Another long foul ball. A Texas double that night. Reese Atwood, Leanne Good, each being handed a golden ticket representing that they have been selected in the AUSL draft. We will reveal the order that those players were selected in early May. And I appreciated too that the AUSL put out a post earlier this week explaining the draft process and mentioning that these players have already been drafted, but then we'll all find out exactly where they will play this summer once we get to that draft special in May.
Exactly. May 4th is the date of the AUSL draft, and I think as somebody who grew up playing softball, it's been so cool to see what Athletes Unlimited and the AUSL has done, because as softball players, we've been waiting for moments like this. We've been waiting for a professional league that hangs around, that has great opportunities for athletes, and we're seeing that now. And I think the amplification and the partnership with Major League Baseball has been so great, not only for the league itself, but for the sport of softball. And now with the golden tickets, people outside the game are saying, hey, what's going on here? And we're getting to highlight some of the most elite athletes in our game because of it.
We've seen Pat Mahomes get in on those announcements and some other famous athletes, including a number of softball royalty. We do have a pinch runner at first base. That's Adea Wallace, who comes in for Atwood. Hendickus has the strike on the corner ahead in the count 0-2 to Leanne Good.
Everybody clap your hands.
Called on the corner. Hendickus records the strikeout, and there are 2 outs here in the 7th.
That's a beauty of a pitch from Sarah Hendickus on the inside corner with some screw spin in on the hands of Leanne Good. We've been seeing Kentucky's pitching staff utilize that against Good all series.
Another hot shot. 4th time through the order, this Texas team is really caught up to Sarah Hendickus.
I think we need to get Mike White some catcher's gear over there at third base. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous with the way these Texas hitters have been fouling balls off. There he's waving the white flag saying, please, please, no more.
Seems like a situation where the Kentucky grounds crew needs to create an outline of where Mike White went down on that one earlier in this inning. 0-1, Emmert thinking about the snap throw back to first. Ball is back in there safely.
I'm calling on all the creative people out there. I need to see a meme of this on social media later today of Mike White diving away from the Reese Atwood foul ball.
Texas putting 4 on the board here in the 7th. Katie Stewart with a grand slam to put the Longhorns in front, tying the single-season home run record in the process as Wells cuts through the filthy changeup.
I want to see Hendickus use that pitch more. Every time she's thrown it, Texas hasn't been able to do anything with it.
Grounded inside third. Riddell cuts it off. Wallace gonna stay put. It's a 2-out double for Hannah Wells. And Texas thinking about tacking on a few more.
Carly Sleeman was shifted in that 5-6 hole deeper so that ball goes down the line and she doesn't have an opportunity to get to it.
We'll get an additional pinch runner at second base. For Texas, that will be the sophomore Taylor Anderson, who enters to run for Hannah Wells. And now the umpires coming together. Bit unsure as to the nature of this conversation. This inning suddenly grinding to a halt. Maria, what a game this has been. If you're Kentucky, a tough pill to swallow after you put together such a great performance against an incredible Texas offense. And for Texas, just another big moment in a season that's had plenty.
It's so tough. I'll start with Kentucky because you felt like they were building momentum, especially with the way they retired Texas an inning before. But also you can look at it from Texas's perspective. You had 3 great pieces of contact. Great plays were just made against you, and so it's however you spin it, what you're going to tell your team to motivate them in the next inning. And I think if you're Kentucky, hey, you still have 3 outs to play with in the bottom half of this inning. Can you make the most of them? And if you're Texas, you need to feel good that you're able to grind it out in tough games because the road does not get any easier. You have Arkansas this next weekend in SEC play, then you have the SEC tournament, and then it's mayhem. And so you want to be able to perform in those top moments, and that's what Texas did here when they really needed to the most.
There's never been an announcement about what this conversation is about. Rachel Lawson having a conversation with the third base and home plate umpires. Texas has also shown you the ability this weekend to win games in multiple ways, and there will still be a bottom of the 7th inning in this game that Kentucky has a chance to come back in, but a 12-2 game late where, as I mentioned to Mike White earlier, they ground at bats throughout the night, ending up getting to Kentucky late. Today, the same story.
Well, that's what a lot of people don't realize is it's not all about just whether you get a hit or whether you're out. It's about what kind of at-bats you're having throughout the game. And so you may be 0 for 2 coming into an at-bat, but you're grinding through, you're seeing pitches, you're getting your timing down so that when you come through a second, third, fourth time in the order, you can strike with all the information you gathered leading up to this moment.
I wonder if this has something to do with substitutions.
I was wondering the same thing. Now, we can't totally see, but Hannah Wells did start the game as the DP. The DP and the flex are locked into the same position. And I'm wondering when Tegan Cavan came in, what spot in the order did she enter in? And it could have to do with that. Now, we don't totally know that up here, but that could be where some of the confusion is coming from.
We saw Mike White hand off his notepad. I don't think there was an ejection, was there?
I don't know.
He just left the field and went into the dugout.
There was no motion from any of the umpires signaling an ejection.
We're all confused. There is a new third base coach.
That's Aaron Earlywine over there at third.
I'm not seeing Mike White leave the dugout. Maybe he just wanted a break from all the heat-seeking missiles he's been having to dodge over at third.
We can only make our best guesses, but for now, that's what we're going to go with.
2-0, called a strike at the knees. We are being told that Mike White is not in the dugout, so there must have been an ejection. Have to get some clarification on that, perhaps post-game. 3-1. This inning really starting to drag.
So interesting, leading up to the seventh inning, everything moved quickly. We were back and forth, and now everything that can happen on a softball bingo card is coming out.
We've had coaches dodging out of the way in the third base batter's box. We think we've seen an ejection.
But the calmest, quietest ejection, if it is one that I've ever seen.
Mike White has been known to get loud when he doesn't like the situation, but certainly was not that. Bases loaded. First pitch fouled back behind home plate.
Did you get nervous for that ball coming at us?
I knew you had me.
I got you, no worries. I didn't bring my glove, though. I probably should have, right?
And honestly, if the viewers could see me up here in the broadcast booth, there is a pane of glass in front of me, and I intentionally sit there because I'll never have to worry about getting hit by a softball.
And to that point, Noah has left me in front of the open part of the window. So if a softball does come, I will have to make a play on it.
Oh, there's a look right there. You can see the glass in front of me. Perfection. Maria Travel piece, perfectly positioned. It's like having the shift on. Ground ball to short. Clark can't come up with it. The run will score. And Texas records their 5th run of the inning. It will be an E6 on Clark. And now Rachel Lawson out of the dugout. 16th error of the year for Clark. This was a tough play with the runner right in front of her.
So I'm wondering if she takes one more step and tries to crash that runner, if the base runner will be out. But I think because it came before, it's still going to go down as the error.
Well, Sarah Hendiges' day is done. Kentucky going to the pen when we come back. Sarah Hendiges had been incredible for most of the day. Runs into trouble here in the 7th. It's 6-1 Texas. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. And Rachel Lawson turns to her freshman, Abby Hammond, coming on, trying to record the final out in a top of the 7th. It just has not wanted to end.
It's tough, too, because Sarah Hendiges was cruising coming into that 7th inning, not giving up a lot of solid contact, but Texas just wore her down and eventually struck with that Katie Stewart grand slam.
10th batter to come to the plate here for Texas in the 7th. A 1 pitch, hit in the air, right field, plots underneath it to make the catch for the final out of the inning, but the damage has been done. Katie Stewart with a go-ahead grand slam to tie the single season program record.
Katie Stewart is so good with runners in scoring position. Says bye ball to give Texas the lead.
A 6-1 game as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Kentucky down to their final 3 outs. Documented struggles for Kentucky this year. They've lost 21 straight in conference play. This was a tied game heading to the 7th, and the 4th time through the Texas order paying off. Katie Stewart with a record-tying blast. It was in grand fashion. Her 23rd of the year. And before we get any deeper in this inning, we did gain some clarification. There was an ejection in the top of the 7th inning. You're only allowed 1 offensive conference per half inning. There was one called early by Mike White as Plotz grounds out to 3rd, and then one of the Texas players called one, so there was 2 in that inning. That leads to an administrative ejection, and more importantly, because Mike White was ejected earlier this year, we are being told that he will have to miss tomorrow's game.
It's such an interesting rule, and I know it's to speed up the pace of play. You don't want a ton of conferences within an inning, but such an odd moment. I'm glad we could get clarification on it.
First pitch swinging into shallow left field. The catch made.
I think the biggest thing to highlight is exactly what you said, though, Noah, the fact that we're being told he won't be able to coach tomorrow because of that previous ejection earlier in the season.
Certainly a lot of intrigue this 7th brought us. We're cruising heading into the 7th. Texas's offense finally getting to Hendiges. We've had an ejection, and now Tegan Cavan in line for her 18th win of the year. If she can close this out, has recorded the first 2 outs in this inning on 3 pitches. as Hamilton hits one to left into the glove of Altmaier for the final out of the inning, as Texas picks up win number 37. Kentucky asked themselves what could have been in this game, but a gutsy performance from Texas, getting to Kentucky pitching late in the game, much like yesterday.
Citlali Gutierrez was incredible in this game, only threw 51 pitches, and then Tegan Cavan coming in to close the door. That's what makes the Longhorns so good. We talked a lot about their offense today, Noah, but that pitching staff is so well versed and can come in at any moment to close a game.
Texas with a big win to take the series. Maybe their 5th series win of the year as Mike Whiteside, even without Mike White out there for the final third of an inning, perhaps tomorrow, gets it done as they continue their march towards a possible double bye in the SEC tournament.
Great teams just find ways to win, and that's what Texas did, right? They were down, or they were tied the majority of this game, and they just kept chipping away at the plate, also in the circle, and that's why they're one of the best teams in the country, Noah, because they have the ability to do it and find wins in so many different ways.
Well, Texas with a big win here to clinch the series. They take this one 6-1 over Texas, or over Kentucky rather. So Texas gets it done today here in Lexington. A big win for the Longhorns as they win their 5th SEC series of the year. It was senior day here at John Kropp Stadium. A lot of action early, some great pitching, and a grand slam from Katie Stewart is the difference for Maria Travelpiece, Keaton Elliott, the rest of our crew working so hard. I'm Noah Frary saying so long from Lexington.